Dr. Richard Bartlett here, again, featuring another guitar. Just got to do it, right? This is an Epiphone ES335 with the F holes. It's got some great sustain. It's beautiful tonal qualities. Just wanted to pick up where I left off kind of last week a little bit. So my message last week was, some called it a mystical fable, but it was true. And what I was pointing out is how fear can hypnotize people, can hypnotize the masses so that they're just stupid asses. And the beautiful thing is, really, is that if you don't give in to fear and you don't listen to the media is doing something that is on the level of the hysteria when Orson Welles did his Martian landing radio program. They're trying to keep you in fear 24 hours a day, because if you're in fear, your mind stops, you stop thinking for yourself. You stop thinking like an individual, and you become completely controllable. I'll tell you another story that tells you about how not giving into fear and being in a place of solitude within yourself is actually the greatest protection against anything like this. Here's the story. So I was working in a spiritual community. I was the doctor for Elizabeth Clare Prophet. And at that time, I was just had my chiropractic degree, but I was a bit of a wizard because I'd already learned total body modification, TBM, and fixed my son for this bronchitis asthma allergies that he had instantly in 30 minutes. And that changed my life, totally changed my life. And so I was one of a number of doctors, medical doctors, who were on staff, and I was well loved. In fact, I was the one that everybody wanted to go see. Well, we had a surgeon on staff, we had an ER physician, he ran the Center for Disciplines of Wholeness, and then we had me, and we had a couple others, we had a bunch of nurses. So they had a rule that if there was an emergency, they would broadcast it over loudspeakers, and whoever was on call, whoever heard it, who was first on the scene, and this is what it is, you're a first responder, who is first on the scene, it takes over. So I was in the cafeteria and I heard a message that somebody had collapsed, and they were outside laying on the ground. And so I was the closest person. So I went there. This person was not breathing. They didn't have a pulse. And so I immediately started CPR, emergency CPR. So I was doing the cardiac compressions and the 2 breaths. And nobody came for 45 minutes. So I did this for 45 minutes straight. No mask, no protection, no nothing. They never, unfortunately, recovered. They died. And now for the rest of the story. They had died of an acute respiratory distress symptom, a virus that they got, and they were going to the laundromat. They didn't make it to the laundromat. They collapsed, and they died. Now, it was a fairly young man. Now, I'm not telling you this. Understand, I'm not telling you this so you go into fear about dying, which, of course, that's the ultimate fear. Really, the ultimate fear is the fear of the unknown, which is not being anything. But that's neither here nor there. Here's the point. Please listen so that you understand that there is a point that I'm making that's not fear-based. I did this for 45 minutes. I did it without thought of safety, sanctity, anything. I was not worried at all. I was helping a fellow person to hopefully survive, which it didn't come out that way. But here's the thing. That virus killed them. I never developed so much as a sniffle. Don't give in to fear. Now, I do tell you, if you go outside, you should wear a mask. I'll see you next week.